Hey again, Anton here from Dropship Lifestyle. Just a quick video. I made a presentation that I'm going to get to in a minute, but just to let you know what this video is all about, it's very basic. If you know about e-commerce and dropshipping already, this isn't for you. But if you've been researching e-commerce, you've been researching dropshipping, you've stumbled upon my YouTube channel or website or blog or anything, and you're not really sure what dropshipping is yet or how to do it the right way or how it could be profitable, this again is a quick PowerPoint presentation that I made. So I'm going to walk you through it, show you how I've been involved in e-commerce for the past 8 years, and to show you how I use dropshipping now, really above private labeling, above importing, above selling on Amazon, above selling on eBay. I'll explain why, and I'll share a little about what dropshipping is and how it works. So let's check it out. Okay, so let's get this started. You'll see here the name of this presentation again is What is Dropshipping, and it's presented by Dropship Lifestyle, which is my online e-commerce training program. So getting right into it, before we start talking about dropshipping, let's just discuss a few different e-commerce business models. I think that's important to kind of get us going. The first will be eBay. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what eBay is. If you don't, it's an online auction place, also a place where you can create an eBay store and sell through there. So it's one of the e-commerce business models. There's also Amazon. So everyone knows Amazon, the biggest e-commerce store in the world, and it's a possibility to set up an Amazon store and actually sell your products through Amazon. So that's another e-commerce business model. Then there's what I just put the image here for Shopify. All that really means is doing it yourself, creating your own e-commerce store. So building your own website that you sell products to. Now, out of these three, there are more, but these are the three big ones. You could sell on eBay, you could sell through Amazon, or you can build your own store. There are many different e-commerce platforms you can use, but to me, Shopify is the winner. I say go with Shopify. I say build your own store, own everything, do it with Shopify because it's the best platform out there. The reason I chose that, and that's what I've kind of transitioned into. When I started, I did sell on eBay. I have worked on Amazon before. In fact, I still advertise there. But I recommend selling through Shopify, building your own e-commerce store, building your own brand. The reason for that is because it simply allows you to own everything. Well, when you're selling through eBay or Amazon, things really come down to pricing a lot of the time. So you get into kind of pricing wars, and that's what everything's based on. When you build your own store, you control everything. So the content's all yours, the leads are all yours, previous customer data is all yours, and you get really much more of a open field as far as marketing goes and advertising goes, and being able to control how many people buy through your website. So I highly recommend building your own store out of all these business models. And again, I highly recommend using Shopify. Now let's talk about some different ways to find products to sell. So obviously you could import. I've imported before from China to the USA. You can import from anywhere to anywhere. And it is a good way to do business. It's a good way to get involved with e-commerce, but I do not recommend starting that way. Another way that I actually can't believe people recommend is going to garage sales, trying to find good value, good deals you could pick up for cheap and then resell through either eBay or Amazon or your e-commerce store. And then there's the winner, the one that I recommend, the one that I use. I didn't know what image to use here, so I put the image of a postman. But to me, the clear winner is dropshipping as a way to start. Again, I'm not saying importing is bad. I'm not saying you should never do it. But if you're just getting into e-commerce, you're trying to really learn the ropes, make some money, and not put in cash, and that's the main thing here. If you're trying to not make a big investment, then dropshipping is the way to go. It's the best return on your time, and it's a way to really create a big business that doesn't cost a lot of money up front. And obviously the garage sale thing that actually courses teach, and I don't get it. It's a waste of time, and who wants to sell one item at a time? We want to sell a lot of items. We want to make a lot of money. So let me explain what dropshipping is now that you know why I recommend that as a way to find products to sell, and now that you also know that I recommend selling through your own store. Why do I recommend this? How does dropshipping work? I put up this little image here, and we'll just cover it really quick. Again, you're building your own e-commerce store. You're listing products on your website. So whose products are these? Well, these are different suppliers' products, different brands' products. So there are actually companies out there whose job it is as a business. It's not to find customers. It's not to get sales for themselves. They are actually the brands that create products, that innovate products, then that look for retailers to sell them. So as a dropshipper, as a dropship retailer, we're selling for these brands who don't sell to the public, who are looking for people to sell their products, to make them money, and to grow their business for them. So we're one of these retailers. So again, how it works is we get approved to sell for these different companies, and no, not just one, there are thousands of them. We get approved to sell for these companies. We put these items for sale on our website, on our Shopify store. We then do our advertising. Customers come to the store, and once they buy these items, we contact our suppliers, our dropship suppliers, and they ship these items directly to our customer. So we're not laying out money for inventory. We're not buying any inventory. All we're doing is making an agreement with the dropship supplier saying that we want to sell their website. We get their price list, we put their products for sale on our site, and then when someone buys from us, we place that order with the supplier. Only after the customer has paid us, after we've received the money, we contact that supplier. We say ship item XYZ to customer ABC. They ship it, they charge us. The difference between what we sell to our customer for and what we pay our supplier is our net profit. From my experience, when you're drop shipping the right way, you're looking at about 25 to 30% average net profit. So you sell a $1,000 item, you make 250 bucks. That's my experience, the estimate. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but that's a good goal to shoot for, and I think a realistic expectation. So now that I covered that briefly, I want to go through a checklist of how to do dropshipping the right way, the successful way, how to actually make money with it. Because yes, there are a lot of ways to fail with e-commerce and with dropshipping, just like anything else. But I'll explain kind of a brief overview of the system that I use when creating new dropship stores. And I've been doing this for 8 years now, so I've been doing this since then, and it works. Plain and simple. Step one is choose a niche, right? Choose what we're going to sell online. We're going to go niche specific here. We're not going to build some store that just sells all different types of products. We're not trying to be Amazon. We want to get very niche specific. That comes into play when we're dealing with conversion rates and how we're going to market our stores. That's later, but we're going to try to niche down, choose one type of product to sell on our store. Step two is we're going to find our future competitors. We're going to go out online and we're going to find websites that are already selling what we want to sell. And more specifically than that, we're going to find websites that already sell what we want to sell that are doing it via dropshipping. So how do we know that? We're going to check their About Us pages. Do they have a warehouse? Do they have a showroom? Do they have retail stores? We want companies that sell online for multiple brands that have no physical presence. That means they're selling for dropship suppliers. That means we can compete. Step three is we're going to create our store. Yes, even before we get approved for suppliers. We're going to do this because we want to show our future suppliers that we actually have an e-commerce store, something that looks good, something that they can trust. Trust is a huge part of this, and of course I get very into detail into dropship lifestyle, and I show you exactly how to create your store within our course, but that's step three. Step four is now actually to go out there and to get approved with these suppliers. When I say go out there and get approved, I mean, get on the phone or send emails. That's step four. Once we have our store, once we've obviously done all our research, we're starting to put some time into this, the ball's rolling, we're getting approved with suppliers in step four. After that, we move on to step five, which is optimize for conversions. So again, I said earlier, there's lots of ways to succeed with e-commerce. There's lots of ways to fail. I figured out lots of different optimization techniques over the years that really help make visitors turn into buyers. And that's what step five is all about. There's a bunch of them. And again, I share them all in my Dropship Lifestyle course. Step six is get traffic. So traffic's very important, obviously. And what's more important than traffic is conversion rate and how good of quality that traffic is. Now, one thing I've found with e-commerce and dropshipping is that there are tons of traffic sources out there. I've used lots of them and I've wasted tens of thousands of dollars trying different ones. So there's a few of them that work great for me, and there's a few different tweaks I use to make them work so well. Just to briefly cover what I use, Google PLAs, Amazon product ads, very basic on-site SEO. Don't spend money on SEO, don't recommend it. Some on-site tactics that I recommend, thefind.com is a great one. And I take out niche-related blog banner ads. If you're interested in how I use them and obviously more in-depth information, it's in my Dropship Lifestyle course. The step 7 to build a successful dropshipping store, based on my experience again, is to start outsourcing and automating tasks. So once your store is up, you found your niche, you got your suppliers, you built your store, you got approved with suppliers, you optimized it for conversions, you're getting traffic, you're getting sales, you're making money. Then it's time to start using these apps online that you can plug into your store that will automate day-to-day tasks for you, so you don't have to work as much, which is of course what we all want: make money while not working as much. So a bunch of apps I recommend. One is called Ecom Hub. There's a bunch of them, and if you want to know how to use them and get a full list, again, in Dropship Lifestyle. So that's my 7-step checklist for building a successful dropshipping store. And to move on, I just want to cover a few, quick common mistakes to avoid. If you don't want to join my course, if you're not part of it, then I just want to let you know, how people usually fail, if they fail, and what you should stay away from. So the first, never pay for access to a supplier. I've literally worked with hundreds of dropship suppliers over the years, and I've never once paid for an account. I don't pay any monthly fees. I don't pay to get their product catalog. Don't do this. Every company that charges to sell their products is either a middleman or a company whose goal isn't to really build their brand. They're making money off these monthly fees, off these, account activation things. You don't want to do it. Even if you do it, these products aren't going to sell well. There's going to be tons of competitors. Never pay for access to a supplier. Rule number one. Next thing, never work with suppliers who call themselves dropshippers. Now, obviously, this presentation is about dropshipping. My course is called Dropship Lifestyle. The funny thing is, whenever I'm talking to suppliers, I never use the term dropshippers. I never Google my niche keywords plus dropshippers. That's not how you find quality suppliers. And the real good suppliers, the ones you want, they do not call themselves dropshippers. They don't have that keyword anywhere on their website. And chances are, if you call them and mention dropshipping, they're going to be less likely to work with you. You want to use the word internet retailer. You want to present yourself as a real business, not some guy, in his mom's basement trying to build an e-commerce store, to be honest. So again, internet retailers, and I show how to find these good suppliers in my course that I've created. The next common mistake to avoid is you should only work with suppliers. Again, this is when starting out. You can expand on this, but you should only work with suppliers who enforce MAP. Now, MAP is it's a common term in the industry. It stands for minimum advertised price. So you want to sell for suppliers who have pricing controls. Again, these types of suppliers that we want, they're not middlemen. They actually create brands. They build brands. They want companies that are going to, respect their brand, build trust in it, and get them sales. Now, these companies, these legitimate companies, have pricing controls. Let's say, for example, I don't know, they're selling a ladies' leather bag, and their minimum advertised price is $1,000, and your wholesale cost is $600, meaning you make $400 per sale, right? Maybe you're okay with making $200 per sale, so you want to sell it for $800. Well, these suppliers will not let you do that, and if you get caught doing that, they're going to ban your account. The reason they do this, the reason they have these pricing controls, is because they want their brands to hold their credibility, to hold value. So they're not going to let retailers go out there and just keep undercutting each other till no one makes any money, and more importantly, till their perceived value of their brand goes down. So we only want to work with suppliers who enforce minimum advertised pricing, and there's a bunch of ways to check if they do. Of course, you could just ask them, but there's more automated ways that I share in the course. The next thing, do not try to compete with offline retailers. So what I mean by that is when you're looking for future competitors, I hit on it briefly before, but don't try to find these companies that have physical stores or warehouses and try to compete with them. They're most likely going to get better pricing from suppliers, be able to sell for less, and and also it's still the way things are today. If someone has an option of buying something online or going down the block and picking it up and getting that instant gratification, a lot of the times they're just going to go down the block and pick it up. So one great way to find niches online, one great way to find suppliers online, is to find kind of unique areas within niches where the products aren't readily available locally, where customers actually have to buy online. So I give a bunch of examples in the course. One quick one, I give it in the course also, but just very briefly to cover it, is chandeliers, right? So let's say someone wants to buy a chandelier for their new house. They can go to Home Depot, they can go to Lowe's, they could find them, but they can't find maybe the exact one they want. This is an item that there can literally be thousands and thousands of variations of, and maybe the Home Depot carries, 20 or 40 or 50 of them, whatever it is. But this is something that a customer probably has to buy online, and this is something where there's hundreds of brands where they're not all going to be, in a local store. So it's something a customer would go online to buy, and it's a space where you're not going to be only competing with offline retailers. You're going to be selling with brands that are online only, brands that you can get approved with, and brands that you can actually compete in sales for and grab part of those sales. So that's my next common mistake to avoid, is finding those offline stores and trying to compete. Do not do that.
The last mistake that people make all the time, and I understand why, but I don't want you to make the same one, is do not buy a turnkey dropship store. If you go to, flippa.com or any of these like auction websites, like the lower end website sale ones, you'll find these stores. Oh, dropship store, opportunity, 5,000 products ready to go. These don't work. These are all clones of each other. They're not really what dropshipping is all about. They're a way for the sellers to make a quick buck. And I can't even see myself, someone that's been in business for almost a decade doing this, buying one of those and making it profitable. So I'm sure no one else is gonna. These are a waste of money, waste of time. Don't even look into it. Yeah, there's good values. There's good stores for sale, good e-commerce stores, good dropship stores. I've sold them, but they go into the mid to high six-figure range. And I don't think anyone here that's watching this is looking to spend $500,000 on a website. I think you'd rather build that website and then sell it. And definitely possible. Something that you could figure out on your own, something that you can learn by going through a course like mine and learning as you go. There's tons of information online, but I really do think that my course, dropshiplifestyle.com, is the best. If you're looking to learn more about it, kind of see what's included in Dropship Lifestyle, you can either go to dropshiplifestyle.com or on our YouTube page. We actually even have a walkthrough video of our members area, so you could see what's actually included if you decide to join my course. If not, best of luck to you. I really hope you follow through with e-commerce and, again, get started with dropshipping. I don't think there's a better way to break into it. And, again, I don't think there's a better resource online than my course, Dropship Lifestyle. So any questions for me, please reach out and, keep me posted on your progress and your successes. And, I'd be glad to help along the way. Talk soon, and thank you for watching this video. Bye, guys.